Hello, hello, hello. It is I, says me, and all those who agree are we three. I'm just checking in to say hello to tell you something that was on my mind. In fact, um, just I've been planning on talking about current events more often, and so I read an article today that I thought I would like to uh, just kind of go through and pick it apart and just maybe show you some of the things that I like to think about when I read these articles. So the article is about General Motors. General Motors will cut up to 14,000 workers in North America and put 5 plants up for possible closure as it abandons many of its car models and restructures to cut costs and focus more on autonomous and electric vehicles. All right, I'll stop there. There's more to the article, but maybe we'll move forward a little bit. But I want to stop there. It's a chunks of information right here. Okay, General Motors will cut up to 14,000 workers in North America. So first, I want to pause right there. I'm always hollering about, uh, we need to save and invest. We need to start our own businesses or side jobs of some sort or side hustles. And this is why 14,000 workers. So, how many of us are going to lose our job? So, if you had this side gig, that will help sustain you until your next job, your next full-time job, and possibly it'd be the catalyst to take your side thing into a full-time thing, and that's what we need you to do. And so, I'm just harping on it to point out that you cannot, put your loyalty into a corporation because as I read forward, you'll understand why. Uh, 14,000 workers in North America put 5 plants up for possible closure. We're going to close 5 plants. Just think of the reverberations there from an economic standpoint. That means the workers are out of a job. But think of the businesses that those workers supported on their lunch breaks alone. So the businesses surrounding these 5 plants are going to suffer. So let's dig a little deeper. Uh, closure, possible closure as it abandons many of its car models and restructures to cut costs. Restructures to cut costs. So they didn't consider, are we wasting too much on, you know, lunch meetings and executive memberships at the golf course? They want to cut jobs that are on the folks down at the bottom. Okay. The reduction includes 8,000 white collar employees. So, you know, these white collar employees may be some of those people who would have went to the country club, but for the majority of those people are regular folks who have regular jobs and live regular lives, whether it's a white collar or blue collar. All right, let's move on forward. At all factories, around 3,300 blue collar workers could lose jobs in Canada, and another 2,600 in the U.S. All right, let's dig a little deeper. All right, the restructuring. These are just I highlighted some of this, so we don't have to go through the entire article. The restructuring reflects the changing U.S. and North American auto markets as a dramatic shift away from cars towards SUVs and trucks continues. Okay, that dovetails into a whole nother topic that I want to put a pin in and come back to, And that's the concepts of how our economy is changing from a worker standpoint. And this is kind of a combination of thought leaders. And one I would like you to go and look up if you're interested in this type of topic is Rick Edelman. Rick Edelman owns a financial planning firm. It's actually one of the biggest firms. They just merged with, I don't know who they merged with, but something big. So now they're one of the biggest. But the point is, the guy who founded this firm, Rick Edelman, is a Caucasian guy. He is a futurist, and he tackles the future from a financial planning standpoint. So how the future of technology and advancement in medicine and other biosciences and all other forms of technology affect our work life, and how that impacts the future of work. And because we need to know that, because that's going to impact the future of your financial planning needs and the future of retirement. So that changes the entire game. It really means the changes to the future of family planning, retirement planning, goal setting, goal achieving. It affects the longevity of life, these changes. So all of these future things are impacted by what I'm reading right now, and in a roundabout way, but in a real way. So restructuring reflects the changing U.S. and North American auto markets. All right, move forward. GM is shedding cars largely because it doesn't make money on them. General Motors, the biggest and oldest car manufacturer in the United States and on the planet of Earth, does not make money on cars. I could dive into that and tell you a lot about why, and you could go online and look at their financial statements and figure out why. But move forward. We estimate that sedans operate at a significant loss. General Motors is making a significant loss on every sedan that they produce. General Motors preemptive strike to get leaner before the next downturn likely will be followed by Ford Motor Company. Toyota Motor Company also has discussed cutting costs. Fiat Chrysler automobiles got out of small and mid-sized cars 2 years ago, while Ford announced plans to shed all cars but the Mustang sports car in the United States. So I'm saying these things to just lay out to you how I'm going to just lay out to you something very specific about this article and how it fits into the future of work and the future of why you need your own business. The future of cars is going to change. In this article, it mentioned that it is getting in because General Motors is going to focus more on autonomous and electric vehicles. So the personal car market is a market that is actually shrinking, but it's providing an opportunity for entrepreneurs, the new super entrepreneur that is emerging, to have a whole new market that they can latch onto and expand for the individual car manufacturer, the small car manufacturer, the local car manufacturer. I want you to think about Okay, good. It's only been 10 minutes. I want you to think about, especially the guys. We watch Velocity Channel. Women, go take a look. Discovery Channel. Shows like Gas Monkey, uh, Iron Resurrection, um, all these car building customization and West Coast Customs. You remember uh, Whip My Ride or something like that? Whip the Ride or something? Well, the those are all cute shows, right? But what it's showing you is the artistry, the technology, the mechanical skills, and the multiple um, skill, knowledges, and expertise that exist in a shop to pull this off on making these cars and making these motorcycles. Uh, you remember American Chopper, uh, Jesse James, and all you. I know all you dudes. You like this stuff just like I like it. But check it out, and just I want you to realize that that's just an auto shop, and that auto shop owner just put together the components from a technology standpoint. You know, the various machines, drill presses, and tools, lathes, and woodwork machines, uh, uh, metal work machines, um, CNC machines, plastic work machines, leather work machines, um, and not just the machines, the miscellaneous tools, gimmicks, and gadgets that are needed and used in that industry by the practitioners who specialize in that. You pick any of those particular fields that pertain to car building and motorcycle building, and you know there are a multitude of machines, tools, and different techniques used to achieve what they do in that in that specific little medium, meaning upholstery, woodwork is involved in cars. Uh, as you know, engine mechanics, uh, suspension specialists, exhaust specialists, welding specialists, electrical specialists, paint specialists, body work specialists, body sculpting specialists, um, the the fiberglass specialist. Um, it goes on and on and on. I'm a muscle car enthusiast. I got a couple muscle cars, so I know firsthand. It's millions of little parts on them cars, and we constantly working on them. But the point that I'm getting at is that GM, Ford, and all of them is going out of business on making cars for individuals to jump in and get around. What's happening, what's going to change in this world that you live in right now is that people moving machines. Don't think of it as cars or motorcycles. It can have as many wheels as you want it to have. It's for multiple purposes that people are going to have to need to get around. But as far as cars, they're going to be just go get Uber. So this is going to be taking back your garages. People are not going to need garage on the house. It's going to be extra space in your house. It's going to be a extra room that you didn't used to have that you gonna have now, and it's just it's a lot of ramifications just based on that one factor alone. But take into account GM and them is going out of business on making cars for individuals, but some individuals will still need cars. You might need an individual car for yourself, and you got a people mover in the back trunk of the car. So you might live in a suburb, you might drive your car to a location, and from there jump on public transit with your people mover, your private skateboard type device. It's a one wheel electronic, mover, whatever it is, scooter, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be a multiple types from multiple makers of them. And what I'm just pointing out, this scenario that I'm just making up right now, is you have a shop. Let's say you're a mechanic. You're in mechanic school right now. Well, here's a goal for you. What if you have a mechanic shop? GM and them is getting out of that business. But let's say they make chassis. Your shop buys GM electric chassis. And hypothetically, you drop Camaro bodies and Mustang bodies on top of these chassis. Now, those bodies, obviously it's going to need some customization, but you figured that out. You got this down to a system. So your workers know you got the jig made up. Zip, 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 zip. You put these bodies on top of there, and these bodies you buying them out the catalog, a dime a dozen. So it's not like you have to go find Mustangs out the wrecking yard. No, you buying new frames. You buying new bodies, parts, and they're just coming to your shop. So you putting these bodies on these new electric frames. These electric chassis that GM is making, and you buying them by the boatload, right? So basically, you making electric people movers too, little scooter type vehicles. So for every car you make one of the movers go in the back trunk. So now your clients give you $100,000. They jump in your new clean ass Camaro or Mustang, old school, made to order for them with the customized interior, however they needed, colors and all of this. And it's got the people mover in the back trunk, specialized for this vehicle with the paint and everything. You making it for them now. They got an electric vehicle, old school body style. They drive to the local, wherever you are in America, right? They drive into work. They drive from the suburb. They go to the local public transit train. Boom, they get on that with their little people mover in hand. They go, and then they get off the train, but they still got a mile to go. So this is the third. It's called the third leg. It's the problem of the third mile of the third leg of this journey. So you solve that with this people mover, and so bam, they get on it. It's a little electric mover. It's up to say 5 miles. This is easy to make. It's off the shelf technology right now. So they on the people mover, and zzz, they just getting around, on their iPhone or something, just zipping that extra mile to work. Then they pull up at the office, zzz, hop off of it, and get in the elevator and go up to they're sitting right next to their desk. Bam, you got $100,000 for that. And you just putting together these components, and you hired the workers, put this together. This is, it's not just me making it up. It's me making up some of that, but I'm just giving you a for instance of something that's happening right now, the way the world is evolving, the way technology is evolving, the way entrepreneurship is evolving, and the way that a regular grease monkey right now, who is out there just, trugging away at, fixing car after car after car, replacing, carburetors and water pumps. Well, you could make that business. I just brainstormed right off the bat. And this is, I'm brainstorming it, but off real reality. This is really how the direction the world is going. And so, believe it or not. So anyway, that is some of what I want to point out to you about this. And so, this is just one industry. And I just showed you one component of one industry on how we could take over this whole industry. That's permanent jobs right there. Just think just think that little design I said. Say y'all only need to, at your shop, if you made 100 of those cars a year, you balling. And so we could have 100 of those shops in 100 of our cities making 100 of those cars a year. And there's a demand for more than that right now. So that's what I'm saying. It's these type of ideas. Somebody out there, I hope, would be listening and be like, oh, I could do that because it's nothing but a thing. Do it. Do you want the money? Look at the people on these shows. Just look at it from a critical standpoint. Go watch American Chopper. Go watch Gas Monkey Garage and look in the background of what's the machines in the background, what equipment they're using, and all of that stuff. You could add it up, right? You could say, oh well, shit, man, that come to about $500,000. All right, let's lease it. Let's lease the stuff. $500,000. You're gonna lease it for approximately $35 per month for each $1,000 that you're of worth of stuff. So if the machine is $100,000, well, you can lease it for $35 per thousand. So 35 times 100. That's how much it would cost you to lease it. And you could. That's how I want you to, when I say, don't worry about the money. Worry about what you need. So let's start backwards. So what is it that your business is gonna do? And we start there, and we'll worry about all the stuff I need. Because if you think about the money you need for all the stuff, that's preventing you from even doing it. Because first of all, you have the wrong assumption. You are already assuming I need money for that thing. No, you need that thing. Why you the one jumped in and said I need all this money so I can get this $100,000 machine. You need the $100,000 machine. Matter of fact, pull the $100,000 off of there. I don't give a damn who said it was worth $100,000. I need the machine. Period. How can I get the machine? Maybe I come up with some sort of fair exchange. What do that dude who got that machine need from me? What can I do for them to get the use of this machine? Remember, I don't have to have that machine. I just need that machine. All right, you say, when you think of all the reasons why you can't get it, right? Get out the box. Remember, I just need, matter of fact, you might not even need the machine. You might not need, even if we say, damn, I could just lease the machine, even if that's too much money, right? Say, all right, well, let's break it down even further. What do I actually need? Well, even if you don't, you say, well, actually, I just need to use them for my first batch of items that I'm gonna make. And I can make my first batch in 2 weeks. So really what you're saying is, I need the use of that machine for about a month before I even have to pay for it. That's really different from, oh, first I needed $100,000 so I could buy this machine. We even broke it down to, well, no, all you need is like 3,500 or even 35, whatever that amount is, right, to lease it. And then we even determined, no, I don't even have that. All right, well, we just need to use it for a month before I pay for it. So whatever those terms are, we could work backwards. So in a month, I will make 100,000 items to be sold. Each item is going to retail for $100. So if I was ahead of the game, if I only sold 10% of my items, I'll be able to pay for 1 month's use of this machine. So if I can create terms that will allow me to get the machine a month ahead of time, maybe give some terms where I'm gonna pay you this month, the first month, half, and then from then on, I'm going to pay you the regular amount. And then you'll say, well, why would they want to do that? Because the machine is sitting over there gathering dust. And nobody is even in the mix about even in negotiation to buy it. So, hey, I can get some. You can get money in 2 months. I can take it off your hands right now. I ain't gonna give you no money for 2 months, but I'm indebted to you. Whereas in reality, that person might know I ain't even gonna have even a conversation to sell it within now and 2 months. So I might as well make this fool owe me, right? So if you never really thought it through, you will never realize your own leverage that you have. You have more power in that scenario that I just created out of thin air. And I'm gonna even tell you, I used a similar scenario. I'll get to it. One day I'm gonna get back to it on how I came up on some laundromats. Similar type of scenario. Understanding your leverage, understanding your own power from a business perspective. And so basically, that's all I wanted to say. That's already 26 minutes. But I just wanted to use that to touch on some various topics so we can brainstorm a little bit and see how, current events, or how you need to keep your eyes open, be open for opportunity. And if you understand the direction the economy is going, if you understand technology, financial technology, biology, all sorts of technology across all sectors, it's all important to me from an investment standpoint, but also I'm somewhat of a futurist. So I always like to stay ahead of the game. What's happening? Where is the world going? What's going to be like in the future? So how can I align myself and my actions in line with the direction the world is going, so I can be ahead of the game? So by the time I get there, maybe I can cut it off at the pass. The world, everybody is going this way, but the world, if I know where the world is going, I can cut along, bam, and then I can take it over, right? That's the concept. I'm still just a mere mortal, but I'm telling you these words because this is how I would like you to think, just to open your own horizons and see that you are actually in a power position right now. And even a person who is just a mechanic could take those mechanic skills and bubble them into a multi-million-dollar corporation, or just a several million-dollar local business, or just a sustainable business of any sort that helps you achieve your goals and take care of you and your family. So, and from time to time, I'm gonna just pick an industry and just go off like that and just show you how, man, we could do anything, especially taking the skills we also developed already and just reworking them, to sell something else. My friend of mine said he can sell a bald head person a comb when he got his hustle light on. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. We need to put your hustle light on. It's time. I'm out. Later.